Once in the sunlit village of Amaoya, where the golden rays of dawn kissed the earth and life thrived in humble harmony, there lived a young woman named Ade. She was strikingly beautiful. Her almond-shaped eyes sparkled like stars, her skin glowed like polished mahogany, and her laughter rang like the sweetest melody. Her beauty was her pride, and her belief was simple. Her looks were her ticket to a life of ease and luxury. "I am a princess," she often declared, standing before her cracked mirror. "Why should I toil in the sun like common women? A wealthy man will come, and I shall live like a queen." Ade's mother, Ego, watched her with a mix of concern and sorrow. Ego was a widow, weathered by years of hard work and sacrifice. She often sat Ade down, weaving baskets with calloused hands, and said, "My child, beauty is fleeting. It cannot fill your belly or build a home. A good life takes effort and wisdom." Ade would scoff, flipping her long braids over her shoulder. "Mother, you speak because you made poor choices. You married a poor man, and look where it brought us. I will not be like you." Ego's heart ached at her daughter's sharp words, but she held her tongue. Experience had taught her that wisdom couldn't be forced upon the unwilling. One fateful market day, Ade's beauty caught the attention of Uzo, a man whose charm was as smooth as his polished shoes. He drove a gleaming car, wore clothes finer than silk, and spoke of wealth and cities far beyond the dusty village. "You deserve a life of comfort," he told Ade, his voice dripping with honey. "Marry me, and I'll give you the world." Ade didn't think twice. Ignoring her mother's warnings, she followed Uzo to the city, dreaming of mansions and servants at her beck and call. At first, life seemed magical. Uzo took her to fancy parties, dressed her in fine clothes, and showered her with gifts. Ade proudly thought, "This is the life I was born for." But soon, cracks began to show. The mansion Uzo claimed was his turned out to belong to his elder brother, a businessman who had no idea Uzo was using it to impress women. The car he drove wasn't his, and the money he spent wasn't earned, it was borrowed. Slowly, Uzo's lies unraveled. One evening, as Ade waited for Uzo to return from a business trip, the landlord arrived. "Who are you?" he asked, confused. "This apartment was rented for 2 weeks by someone else. You need to leave," devastated. Ade realized she had been living in a castle made of sand. With nowhere to go, she returned to Amaoya, her heart heavy and her pride shattered. Ego welcomed her back without a word of reproach, only love and quiet understanding. As the days turned into weeks, Ade began to notice the strength in her mother's hands, the wisdom in her eyes, and the resilience in her spirit. Ego worked tirelessly, but she carried herself with a quiet dignity that Ade had never appreciated. One evening, as they sat under the moonlit sky, Ade whispered, "I was wrong, Mama. I thought beauty would carry me, but it betrayed me. I see now that strength, wisdom, and hard work are what make a woman truly royal." Ego smiled, her eyes glistening. "My child, life is a great teacher. I am glad you've learnt. Now, use that lesson to rebuild. For true wealth comes not from what you are given but from what you create." Ade took her mother's words to heart. She began helping Ego with her crafts, learning to weave and sell baskets in the market. Slowly but surely, Ade rebuilt her life not with dreams of being saved, but with her own hands. Years later, when a kind and hard-working man came to ask for her hand in marriage, Ade smiled and said, "I will marry you. But know this. I am not seeking wealth. Together, we will build a good life, brick by brick." And so, Ade learned the truth. Beauty might open doors, but only character and effort could keep them open. And so, dear friends, the tale of Ade reminds us that true worth lies not in appearances but in the strength of our character and the work of our hands. What do you think about this story? Have you encountered similar lessons in your life or culture? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who loves folktales, and subscribe to Folktales of Many Tribes for more captivating stories from across the world. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a tale. Until next time, remember, every story carries a lesson, and every lesson has the power to change a life. Stay inspired.